Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the Self Sweet Beauty. Okay, we are in March. We made it to the third month out of the year. 2020 is running by. It's a year, but we are pushing through and we are making it. Okay, so the month of March is Women's Month, okay? And as a woman, and what I've observed from other women is that we tend to be caregivers, right? Like, we are driven naturally to want to care for those around us. But oftentimes, we are the ones that are neglected. Now, I know this is a cliche topic, okay? I understand. But I really want to strive this month to break down the importance of self-care and how to care for yourself. Now, before I get into how-tos of self-care, there were a few things last month that I didn't get a chance to address with respect to self-esteem. And I want to take some time in this video to touch on that stuff because essentially, if we don't deal with the self-esteem and the self-worth issue, we won't feel worthy of self-care. And I will say that this rang true for me, and I'm going to talk about why. Okay, so background. Growing up, my self-esteem, to say it was low would be an understatement, okay? I don't like putting myself on Front Street like this, but I guess we gotta do it. We gotta talk about it. We gotta, because there will be no growth if we don't talk about this, right? I used to struggle with self-esteem a lot growing up. In prior videos, if you watch my prior videos, you know that I grew up in a household where I was told that I was not the most attractive. Through the years, this is hard for me to talk about, but about a couple years ago, my dad actually passed, and it forced me to really reconcile with the hurt that I felt from him. And what triggered this even was on his deathbed, he couldn't talk because the cancer had taken his whole mouth. But he scribbled down on a piece of paper, "I love you." And, okay, we're back. That did a lot for me. And it really made me go back and think, like, okay, he loves me. He just loved me the best way that he knew how. And it's more than likely because he struggled with self-esteem, right? When two people come together that have low self-esteem, more than likely their child is going to have low self-esteem. And that has catastrophic effects on not just your child, but the people that your child surrounds themselves with. It has catastrophic effects on the world. That's why a lot of people deal with jealousy and hatred and self-hatred. And a person that struggles with feeling good about themselves cannot be appreciative of another person's well-to-dos, if you will. And just to give you a little context as to how bad my self-esteem was, it was truly a point where there were some days I did not want to get up out the bed because I was so ashamed to show my face and my body to the world. Imagine how debilitating that was. I did not want to start a YouTube until I lost weight. I did not want to meet new friends. I did not want to go to networking events. And it was so bad that this low self-esteem affected my work performance. And I want to talk about this because I think this is something that not a lot of people talk about. Self-esteem has a dramatic effect on your performance at work. And I'm going to illustrate this for you. My first job out of college. Now, granted, College, I was a rock star. I was president of my chapter of the National Association of Accountants. I had 3 internships under my belt before graduating undergrad. Every recruiter wanted me at their firm. I was up there. I was doing a thing, you know. I was graduating honors from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, okay, was ranked number 2 at the time in accounting nationwide. And so I was doing a thing, right? And so I was feeling myself, right? Then I get into the workforce, and because I did not take time to deal with my self-esteem issues, that reflected in how certain things went down. So I'll give you a little bit of specifics. Halfway through the year comes performance evaluations. Now, I am the type of person that I am very critical of myself. I was especially a lot more critical of myself when my self-esteem was at its ultimate low point. And so with that, I critiqued myself in the harshest ways, and I knew how I wanted to grow. And in college, you know, they will always tell you, be real with your performance evaluations. You don't want to just give fluff because they can see through fluff. And so I didn't want to give fluff. I wanted to be real. I thought my performance was A1. I mean, my manager thought my performance was A1. She entrusted me with more work than she entrusted her senior with. And it definitely caused a few ruffles, if you will. But she loved my work. The one thing that I felt like I needed to do better at was get faster. I was just like, I need to figure out how to do this quicker. I know that this will come with time, but I want to find tricks and I want to find ways to improve my work and get quicker at getting certain things done. And I had the performance meeting with her. She agreed, but she was just like, yeah, but you're good. Like, good, right? Fast forward to the end of the year. Mind you, I had a manager, right? His role was to reach out to my manager, who I actually worked with, to assess my performance for the year. So he reaches out. He doesn't even reach out to like my actual manager who I reported to. He reached out to a manager on my team, and he asked him, hey, is Deanna doing okay? Because she's saying in her own performance evaluation, which I made myself, that she needs to get quicker. So what does that mean? And he's like, I don't know, but she's good. And, you know, I have no complaints with her. And so then that team manager comes to me and is like, Deanna, why did your performance manager call me asking me, like, how you're doing at the job? Like, you're doing awesome. What's the issue? I'm like, I don't know. Who knows? So come time at the end of the year, I sit down with my manager and he tells me, oh, you're at the bottom of the class. And I'm just like, what? Why? What? Now me, I am an overachiever by nature. So for me, that took everything out of me. And he said, it's because, you know, you need to get quicker with your work. And I was like, but I have gotten quicker. I have improved. My manager loves me. She entrusts me with more work than anyone else. What's the disconnect here? Like, why is it being said that I'm doing horrible? Like, my manager isn't telling me this. The person I work with day to day isn't telling me this. So what's the disconnect? What's the issue here? And if it was that was my first lesson and my first my first real life reality check, that what you say about yourself, what you believe about yourself, is going to dictate how other people see you, perceive you, and view you. And from that, I can tell you that kind of carried on through my career at that firm. But once I started doing the work on myself and on my self-esteem, I started seeing leaps and bounds and improvement, and not only my performance at work, but my relationships with my friends, with my family. All of these things improve. And this is why I really want to take some time to talk about how it improved and why everyone needs to be doing this work to make sure it improves, what the work looks like. So for me, I know for me specifically, it took a lot of reality checking. Like, it also took my therapist sitting me down and saying, Deanna, time is ticking. You're too old to be still wooing and sobbing and crying over what happened to you when you were 2 years old. You're too old. It's time to get it together. And so that really put some fire in me to get myself together and really start working on my self-esteem. There were some other things that happened too, but maybe we'll touch on that in another video. So what that looked like for me was really taking the time to do the work, to do the affirmations, to look myself in the mirror and say, Deanna, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I got that from a book that I read. I forgot the name of it, but he really said how he did a whole transformation in himself. And when he repeatedly said to himself, I love myself. I love myself. So I started saying, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. And then I started doing, okay, if I love myself, I would do these things, because I knew there were certain things within me that I did not like, right? And so if there's something within you that you don't like, you have two options. You can either change it, and if you can't change it, you can accept it, okay? Two options. And I told myself, like, look, Deanna, I know the vision that I have for my life, and I'm not walking in that. And what I started doing was I started living out the vision that I saw for myself. If you follow me on my Instagram page, you've seen the posts that I've made about how self-discipline and accomplishing goals and accomplishing tasks can help build self-esteem, and that is 100% true. I will say that part of the reason why now I can walk into any room and not be ashamed to be like, hi, my name is Deanna. What's yours? Yes, I have questions. I will be the only one to raise my hand with this question, and I have no qualms about it. Everybody, if I walk into a room, everybody is going to know who I am. And it's truly a testament of the work that I put into myself. Starting to do things that I had on my to-do list for years and years and years, that had self-esteem boost, because what that does is that it builds self-efficacy. And self-efficacy is our belief about our ability to change something within ourselves, or to do something, or to complete a task. And that's why self-esteem is so important at work. It's so important in your personal life and everything, because at the end of the day, if your self-efficacy is low, then you have a hard time believing that you can accomplish what it is that you want or desire for yourself. And so that's why in the month of March, I'm gonna be talking a lot about the necessity to do things for yourself, because it is truly necessary that we work on ourselves, that we take care of ourselves, because if we don't, our self-efficacy gets low, our self-esteem gets low. If our self-esteem is low to begin with, we won't feel worthy of taking care of ourselves. Sometimes we feel like other people's lives are more important than us, especially if we have children. I'm going to be talking about why it is so important that we do so. Now, this video is getting pretty long, so I'm going to cut it short like that. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe. Please share this video if you found anything helpful. Please join the Self-Sweet movement. We are all about beauty on the outside and the in. And I look forward to coming to you guys with another video. Alrighty. Bye-bye.